Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover a bit of news over the last 24 hours and preview the first day of the LPL Summer 2023 because the LOL Esports season has begun once more because China and Korea will be participating in Asia Games 2023, which is going to be 2022 because of COVID or whatever. So they're getting started. But first, let's go over some news. First and foremost is a little bit of stuff about the Discord. For you guys, if you want to participate in it, we have multiple things going on. If you missed my power rankings earlier, you saw that the Discord was involved in that. The Hall of Fame voting, Discord was involved in that. So I'm just going to go over things for those that have not joined or do not understand what goes on there. It is free. It does not cost anything. Predictions. You can make your predictions. I make my predictions for members only, but we keep track of predictions. It's a little competition amongst everybody. If you'd like to participate, the rules are there. I just posted a pinned message on the predictions channel because the rules have been adjusted a bit for the upcoming split, but they are there. Player pool. It's the final, 12 hours or so after this video goes up, not even, maybe 6 hours. Player pool, if you want to join that, there's a channel for that. You have to join before the LPL first series starts. Once that starts, you can't join. It's like a fantasy thing where you pick a player from each region, and we do a point system. The points and stuff are on a pinned message on that channel, and you can participate in that throughout the summer split. Power rankings, if you missed the power rankings video, I am keeping track weekly, doing Discord power rankings. If you participate, you will be, I guess, part of those Discord power rankings that appear on the top 25 video if you would like to. The more the merrier, the more votes, the less influence they can be by bias. And then Hall of Fame, once again, another thing. People want to claim that there was bias in the ADE Hall of Fame voting. There were roughly, I think at most 11 voters at one point, and at the lowest we had maybe 6 or 7. It's a Discord of 400 people, not a lot of people participating. It does require you to have some, willingness to drop your biases, your fandoms, to pick players that you think should be in the Hall of Fame. The rules are there. If you missed those videos, they have been on my channel the last week. The first class, the second class has already been voted on. Third class is being voted on as we speak. If you'd like to participate in that, there is a thread up. And those videos will come out after the season's over or whenever there's some dead time in the season. That's when those videos will just slowly come out. So pretty much what I'm saying, join the Discord if you want to participate in things. Join the main channel. We talk about stuff all the time, League of Legends. Related, speaking of that, Weibo signed Weiwei. There was a player discussion yesterday that I thought was fine. I think that talking about players is completely okay. And banter about it, I think, is fine as well, as long as it doesn't get trolly and memey. Because memes are sad, in my opinion. I think if we're going to be discussing something, honest, transparent discussions are the best way. But Weiwei has joined Weibo to back up Karsa, split time with Karsa. We saw Karsa split time with Victory 5, with Zhao Lao Bao on Victory 5 last year. That may be happening again. These stats are from when Weiwei was with BLG last year. He had a 3-1 KDA, 5-4 CS per minute, 69-1 KP. Reminder, that was a facilitator meta. 306 damage per minute, 14-1 damage share, 18-7 gold share, 8 champions, 28 games. I do not think he's better than Karsa. I don't think Weiwei is average. His mental cost him a spot on BLG. I thought BLG's roster was much better than what he gave it credit for and the way he behaved on it. I think when you have Bin and Doggo, you have two very good players. Crisp, a solid player. Mid lane was a joke with Icon, but we see Fofo doing very well with EDG, right? So theoretically, that roster, Weiwei should have been able to do more with it and not lose his marbles, if you will. So we'll see how he does on Weibo if he gets an opportunity. EG officially fills out the roster with Revenge. The rumors were that Revenge was going to leave Immortals and go to EG. It has occurred. That roster is now complete. He struggled 1.7 KDA, 8.1 CS per minute, 55.2 KP, very aggressive and dying a shit ton. 469 damage per minute, 22.3% of the team's damage, 21.8% of the gold. So definitely solid in the I'm getting a certain amount of gold and I'm out damaging that gold. I think that's important. That's a very good stat. I see the LPL has that stat after games, and I really wish the other major regions were as transparent with that. I think that's a very interesting one. In terms of laning, at 15 minutes, Revenge on average is only down 175 gold, up 1 CS, 115 XP, so it's a wash at 15 minutes for him. 8 champions in 18 games. NRG have made some moves. So officially, yesterday or the day before, I had said they had signed FBI. So now Luger is gone. Luger had a 3.9 KDA, 9.6 CS per minute, 63.4 KP. 549 damage per minute, resulting in under 25% of CLG's damage, 24.2% of the gold. On average, laning-wise, very mid-average also. Down 115 gold, up 1 CS, 95 XP, 11 champions, 26 games. That includes regular season and playoffs. So, Luger's only 21 years old. That surprised me. I thought he was a bit older. I think he should be on an LCS team. He is definitely better than some. I think he's better than Tomo, probably. He's probably better than Tactical. We're looking at Wild Turtle. I think Luger's better than him. So Luger should be getting a spot. It's just a matter of how long that takes. Without academy teams, I do wonder if he ends up going back to Europe and Turkey. If that ends up being the case, I doubt he ever really returns, which would be a shame. But I think he's a very good player that deserved more than what he is getting. I think he's better than FBI, to be honest with you. NRG also have signed Ignar. So Ignar is probably playing over Poom. Poom is still listed on NRG's roster. Maybe it's just delayed until they drop him. Ignar with Dignitas last split. He joined late because of visa issues. He played with both Spawn and Tomo. Had a 2.5 KDA, 65.9 KP, 172 damage per minute. On average, 268 vision score per minute. Would place 1 ward every minute. About 2 control wards every 5 minutes and clear 2 wards every 5 minutes. 7 champions in 12 games. Ignar has had some high highs. We think of FlyQuest in recent memory. But at the same time, he is not young. So, alongside FBI, that roster fills out after Palafox contracts. Dokla stick around after CLG gets sold to NRG. I think Luger and Poom had a real good thing going together. They had been together for a couple years. It reminds me of Apollo Hakuo in that way, and I am curious if the bot lane suffers now that they have 2 players that have not played together now on the team. TSM have signed Insanity, so he joins Phoenix and Ruby. Insanity, if he plays for TSM in a game, will be the first North American-born mid laner for TSM since Reggie. And it's kind of ironic because this is the last split TSM will be in NA. Pretty much, going to go to the LPL. I think that's all the rumors are leaning towards. So it would be kind of ironic and coincidental if that was the case. These numbers are with Dignitas Academy in NACL last split. He had a 3 KDA, 8.3 CS per minute, 51.2 KP. So Dignitas did not fight around Insanity at all. He was on his own. That is a split push top laner sort of KP. Extremely low. 662 damage per minute resulted in 1/4 of the team's damage in game. So he did deal damage. That's a big deal. 21 gold, so he is dealing more damage than gold. That's good. I'm not surprised that he doesn't have a lot of gold, though, given his farming stats. Laning wise, pretty average. I mean, down 25 gold, a handful of CS, 133 XP. So he's not getting gapped in lane, really, just slightly behind. Played 13 champions in 30 games. Is he better than Ruby? I don't think so. But then again, Ruby isn't, knocking your socks off. Is he better than Phoenix? I have no idea. Phoenix hasn't played since 2020. I think that is that's a fool's errand to figure out how Phoenix is going to look, to be honest with you. Lastly, anyone's legend dropped Harder. Harder played he's played several games over the last 2 years, between LPL Summer 2022 and 2023 Spring. In 4 games in Spring, he lost his job to Pin Z. He had a 1-2 KDA, 7-2 CS per minute, 72 4 KP, 471 damage per minute, resulting in 22.5% of the team's damage, 20.4% of the gold. He played a different champion every game. He lost his job. Pin Z's better than him. Has had very little opportunities. We'll see if he ends up latching on with the team or not. Anyone's legend, we're going to talk about in a minute again, are not the best team in the world, so maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Sneak peek for tomorrow. So the 2 series to start off the LPL split are bangers. The LPL really knows how to start a split. I'll tell you, like the opening series, oh my god. Ultra Prime and Anyone's Legend combined went 6-26 in Spring. A lot of their players have changed, which is, I guess, hype, if you could say that. When they played last split, Ultra Prime won 2-1. The only matchups that stayed the same were top jungle. Harry and Ning, if Ning plays, they have brought up Hook. Keep that in mind. And ZDZ, Zhao Hao are the same. Because Ching played for Ultra Prime in mid, and now it is Forge. So Forge is playing into Pin Z, so that matchup didn't happen. Forge Revenge game, he played for Anyone's Legend last year. So there's a little factor. Bot lane, Ultra Prime have Baolan at... no, they don't have Baolan anymore. I think they have Sword Art. I think they have Sword Art at support. Playing against his former team. Could be wrong. The support isn't the same. It's not Baolan anymore. Anyone's Legend had Sword Art. They don't have Sword Art anymore. So, iBoy is now for Anyone's Legend instead of Betty. Zora, I think, is Anyone's Legends 80 support now. So it's iBoy Zora against maybe Doggo Sword Art. I think that's what they did. So essentially, top jungle is the same. So Harry Ning went 11, 12, 36 in the win, 672 DPM for 35% of Ultra Prime's damage. ZDZ Zhao Hao went 12, 17, 23 for 920 damage per minute, and that was 43% of ALs in the loss. So the top jungle for Anyone's Legend, more carry oriented in that series. We'll see what happens. Both these teams stink. There are some factors, though. Forge Revenge game, Sword Art Revenge game, if Sword Art is the support. So maybe that's fun and interesting. Thunder Talk and FPX. Thunder Talk, 18th in my power rankings. Those went up earlier. Thunder Talk beat FPX 2-1 earlier in the split. In terms of player movement, Thunder Talk had Jin Lu in that one. Jin Lu is out. Yao Yao is in. FPX had Fearness. Now they have Zhao Hu again. So that's the thing. Hacker is now with Bonnie. Bonnie may play for Hacker, so we got to keep that in mind. So I have mid 80 carry comparisons here. So UCal Wanfeng in the win went 21 kills, 14 deaths, 29 assists for 1,198 DPM, which accounted for more than half of Thunder Talk's damage, which makes sense. They're the carries. That should happen. Care LWX in the loss had 20 kills, 18 deaths, 34 assists, 1,032 DPM, and that was 49%. So a lot closer than this one. This one we could definitely see a discrepancy between N1 Legend, Ultra Prime in terms of how impactful the upper side of the rift was. As far as carries, very similar in terms of damage and even KDA for that matter in this one. So this one's going to be closer. Well, they're both going to be close. This one's slightly more interesting. Like I said, the LPL have really set us up for a great week 1, day 1. That is just so exciting. So that's it for the roundup. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.